From the coast of Morocco, on a clear night, Europe doesn't look like a distant dream. It looks like a constellation. You can see the lights twinkling across the water, so close, barely a few miles away. Just a short swim, a brief stretch of water, and the story of your life changes forever. Or so they whispered. In late July, that whisper turned into a roar. Imagine waking up to find that an entire city has materialized on your doorstep. Not built with bricks and mortar, but carried on the backs, the kicks, and the desperate heartbeats of 60,000 human beings. This is the story of Ceuta, a moment where desperation, politics, and human fragility collided, leaving a scar that the Mediterranean will not forget. It started like wildfire through social media and smoky cafes in towns like Stampede. Rumors, twisted and weaponized by ruthless smuggling networks, promised a loophole, an open door, a miracle. For young men who hadn't eaten a secure meal in weeks, who watched their futures evaporate day by day, it was the kind of dangerous hope you hold on to like a lifeline. They packed nothing. Many wore wetsuits under their clothes, others wore only t-shirts and worn-out sneakers. They walked miles through the dark, driven by a singular, burning thought: tomorrow, everything changes. They had no idea what was waiting for them at the edge of the water. And then, the dam broke. In the dead of night, the human tide hit the shore. Thousands upon thousands of people surged toward the sea, plunging into the cold, unforgiving currents. Fathers, sons, teenagers who should have been in classrooms, all swimming side by side in absolute darkness. At the Tarajal Breakwater, it wasn't just a crossing, it was a stampede of survival. People climbed over razor wire, slipping on slick concrete, packed so tightly together that individual identities dissolved into a single, breathing mass of anxiety. And the sea demanded its price. Amid the chaos, the dark water claimed its own. Men found themselves suddenly submerged, watching helpless as companions slipped beneath the surface. By the time the sun rose over the Spanish enclave, at least 60 people, fathers, brothers, sons, lay dead, victims of a cruel illusion. Their bodies washed ashore alongside the very dreams they died chasing. When the sun came up, Ceuta woke up to a surreal nightmare. In hours, an influx equal to 70% of the city's entire population had spilled into its streets. The infrastructure shattered instantly. There was no food, no clean water, no shelter for 50,000 souls. Exhausted teenagers wrapped themselves in thin blankets on concrete pavements. Desperate crowds wandered aimlessly past shuttered shops, watched over by bewildered residents and heavily armed security forces. The promised paradise turned out to be a concrete maze of hunger and exhaustion. One young man, his eyes hollow with regret, looked back across the water and said what so many were suddenly realizing: honestly, I don't even know why I came. We haven't eaten, and what we're doing isn't good. The illusion could not hold. As reality set in, and as security forces pushed back against the impossible crowds, the great tide began to reverse. In a heartbreaking exodus of defeat, tens of thousands of people who had risked everything to cross that narrow strip of water walked right back across it. They returned to where they started, empty-handed, carrying only the trauma of what they had seen. The fences remain. The sea still sparkles under the North African sun. But the story of Ceuta leaves us with a haunting question that echoes far beyond those shores. How desperate does a human life have to be for drowning in the dark to feel like a better option than staying behind?
Subscribe.